Hello, welcome to He's Hot, but something is off. Is it though? Is it really? Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like just kind of not a saying, but there's a school of thought. If you ever meet someone who seems like the perfect person, they're hot, but they're also cute. They are sexy, but they're also very charming. They're also very nice and friendly, and they probably make a lot of money, but they're very grounded. They do volunteer work. They Doctors Without Borders, and they save kids from whatever. I don't know, all that kind of stuff. There's always a fatal flaw somewhere in there. Okay, there's no perfect guy out there. That's what I keep telling myself. I haven't been on a date in a long time. Actually, not by accident. I just don't date a lot. I hardly ever date. I hardly ever go on dates. I am off of all the apps I have Grindr, but Grindr is entertainment. Grindr is entertainment. I still find it funny that there are still guys out there that take Grindr seriously. If I'm logged into Grindr on any given day, some days I don't touch it, and therefore I don't look like I'm online, and I don't get any messages usually. But if I'm logged in that day, I'll get like 4 or 5 messages, and 99% of the time I don't reply. I'm literally on there just to see who's around. It's like that meme. It's like I'm on Grindr just to see all the other gays that are around here. I don't consider Grindr a dating app. I consider it like a hookup app and just entertainment. Like a proper dating app, OkCupid, or there's like a million other ones. I feel like OkCupid, it's probably not even the thing to use. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Because I think the last time I actually tried to use dating apps, let me think when that was. You know what? Maybe 8 or 10 years ago. At least 7 or 8 years, at least minimum. And yeah, I don't like it's just so much effort to use those apps. Staring at so many profiles. You're going through so many profiles, and they all look bad. None of them look particularly great. Do you swipe left or do you swipe right to say you like or don't like someone? It's been so long, I don't even remember. Hey, when was the last time you really took care of your skin? The skin is the largest organ in the whole human body and is doing so much for you. It protects you from germs and cooties. It keeps you warm when you're cold. It keeps you cool when you're hot. It's making vitamin D. It gives you the gift of touch and sensation. And that's just scratching the surface, so you better take care of it. I started my own skincare company, Serve Labs, to serve fun and functional skincare for everyone, so that you can serve fun while serving face. Go to servelabs.co, servelabs.co, or follow us at Serve Labs on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and discover how easy and fun it is to treat your skin right with Serve Labs. I don't like the idea of using an app to decide who might be interesting or who I might be attracted to more than just for a hookup, and like swiping left or right or whatever, see if we match. Even times when I was on OkCupid, and once in a while you do match with someone, like you both swiped left or right or whatever direction is that you indicate you like that person, and you do a chat, and like half the time you didn't get a reply anyways. I feel like it was so much effort to use the dating apps to find people to like go on dates on, that it was so much effort and not a lot of return. The investment of my time and energy and effort into it was not worth the return. I would much rather meet people in person, but I don't go out and do things with any intention of meeting people to go on dates with. I don't do anything to get dates, period. No matter if it's something online or something in person or activity or hobbies, anything. I never go to something and be like, oh, there may be some guys that might be dateable there. I will go. I never do that. I will do something if I want to do that thing. It's as basic as that. So I like going to circuit parties because I like the music and I like to dance, but I don't usually like to go to them by myself. I would much rather just go party with friends at a party. I'd rather go with friends. I love the gay cruises, but I don't go on a gay cruise thinking, oh, I'm gonna find me a husband. It's not like that. I like the gay cruises because there's so many different reasons, there's a whole podcast on that now, by the way. The Gay Cruise and Travel Podcast with Just Joey T. It has launched. I'm recording this quite a few days before this episode actually airs, because I'm pre-recording a whole bunch of episodes because I'll be away during the Thanksgiving week and also for half of the week afterwards into December. But the first episode, as I'm recording this, has been launched, has been out for a few days, and it's getting a good number of listens and views, so that's good. But yeah, I don't do anything to get dates. Am I going to end up alone? Whatever. Like, I don't think ending up alone, for me anyways, I'm such an introvert and such an independent person. Like, ending up alone is not a gigantic fear. Maybe when I get into my senior years, that's where I might really want to spend like the remaining years of my life with someone. But I'm pretty young. There's a lot of years left. Some people don't, meet a significant other until their 50s or their 60s. So dating is not just for people that are in their 20s or 30s or 40s. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about dating. We just happen to be. You all should know, the three of you should know by now, when you signed up for this podcast, you really don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. And that's why I started this podcast, to talk about whatever I want. If you're watching a video version of this podcast, which starting recently is just on the Just Joey T YouTube channel, it's no longer on Spotify. But I heard that Spotify is really pushing videos for some reason, and I don't think it's going to work out, honestly. But I'm wearing a headband. I keep a headband like this in my gym bag for days when I don't feel like doing my hair, which is 90% of the time when I go to the gym, I don't feel like doing my hair. And when I don't want to wear a hat while I'm actively working out, because it gets in the way. Some people wear the big over-the-ear headphones. If you're watching the video podcast right now, you see I've got over-the-ear headphones that I'm wearing, but I'm podcasting and I'm monitoring my voice as it goes into the mic to make sure that it's recording okay. But a few times I've tried to wear big over-the-ear headphones at the gym. Two things. I find them very uncomfortable. The clamping force of the cups on my ears, and also how the headband pushes down on my skull, especially that part. For me, is very uncomfortable. I feel like my skull is just like a little extra sensitive to pressure. Depending on the exercise I'm doing, like, it would just fling off my head. But there's certain, like, I can't do sit-ups or crunches with those things because they just fly off my head. So I don't know how people do it, that they're weightlifting and working out with the gigantic headphones. There are quite a few people at my gym where they wear the AirPods Max, like the Apple over the ear or whatever. Those are expensive. I'm like, I could never wear those to the gym, because not only would they fall off my head, I would definitely damage them, and those aren't cheap. I can't have nice things. Really, I can't have nice things. I was wearing a jacket that I got this jacket, zip-up hoodie from Lululemon. I remember this, but there's my favorite jacket is from Lululemon. It's just like another zip-up hoodie that I wear almost every time I go out. Like, if it's like cooler weather and I need a jacket, that's pretty much 99% of the time the jacket I will wear. I have a thinner black jacket from H&M or Uniqlo that I got recently. That's a UV jacket. That's for when it's warm outside and I just want some shade. But this other jacket, I was like, oh, I have this Lululemon jacket that I like so much. I'm going to get like another Lululemon jacket. So this other jacket that I got, Lululemon stuff is not cheap. I mean, I guess it depends on who you're talking to. I don't spend any money on my clothes. So a jacket that's more than $60, $70, I consider that expensive. Unless it's like a thick winter jacket or like a skiing jacket, something a little more specialized. That's like, okay, like if it's like a big winter jacket, it might have to cost you a little bit more, but like I wouldn't pay more than $100 for anything, honestly. But this jacket, I'm pretty sure it costs more than $100, but I end up not liking it that much. And it's like kind of, to me, it's like a slightly expensive jacket. It's not probably that expensive to most people. And just 2 days ago, I got some bleach marks on it because I use benzoyl peroxide on my face. And if you get even trace amounts of benzoyl peroxide on any kind of fabric, it will bleach it. I was staying at my friend's Jay's place. Jay lives in Sydney, down in Australia. And I stayed with him. Must be Mardi Gras. Staying with him, and he's got gray towels, pretty typical gray towels. And I was there for like 2 weeks. So I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to pack all my own toiletries. I'll just buy some of the stuff there. It's hard to pack enough toiletries for 2 weeks. So instead of packing my own face wash, I decided I'll just buy some face wash down there. So got down there, went to one of the stores, and found a cleanser that has benzoyl peroxide in it. I was like, okay, 2 birds, 1 stone. It's a cleanser, and I have acne, so I wanted to use benzoyl peroxide anyways. And it's a wash-off product, right? You foam it up, you wash your face, you rinse it off, done. Even though it's completely rinsed off, and I try to rinse this off my face very, very thoroughly, even though it's a rinse-off cleanser, the tiny itsy little trace amounts of the benzoyl peroxide cleanser on my face and my hands bleach his towels because his towels run white. So that's how bad it is with the benzoyl peroxide. I have no idea where this conversation started, but we're talking about benzoyl peroxide bleaching clothes now. All my sheets, bed sheets, pillowcases, towels, everything has to be white. I've got that Lululemon jacket around the collar. Sometimes I zip it up, so it's like a turtleneck type of a thing when it's cold. Like lately it's been cold. And then there are some bleach marks on the inside of the collar just because it's like rubbing against, like the bottom of my chin. Yeah, and then on the sleeve now, just from a couple of days ago, I got some marks on it because I'm so klutzy that I was wearing the jacket while I was doing my face because it's cold. It's almost winter. And I got a zit on my forehead. You might have seen it in the last couple episodes of the videos I've been posting. I had a zit right on my forehead. It's nearly gone now. But it's nearly gone because I have the zit cream, which has, guess what, benzoyl peroxide in it. So I had a Q-tip that I put the acne spot treatment cream on to dab it onto this zit that I had on my forehead. And because I'm klutzy and I like wave and like fling my arms every which way, the number of times I've hit my arms on like the ledge of a door, like the door frame, if I had a penny, I would be a millionaire right now, honestly. I just not good with not flinging my extremities around. But yeah, and then I got the Q-tip onto my sleeve, and there you go. Okay, can I tell you something for real? Skincare is not really a sexy topic. No one's waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, I have to take care of my skin. I know I talk a lot on the podcast, I have a lot of opinions, and I have a lot of advice to give. But if you don't listen to me about anything, listen to me about this. You have to take care of yourself, and you also have to take care of your skin. I believe in it so much, and I think it's such a critical thing that I started my own skincare company, Serve Labs, to serve fun and functional skincare for everyone. And you know what? Not to toot my own horn, but people are always telling me, your skin looks so good, and I can't believe how old you are. Do you know why? Because I've been taking care of my skin for many, many years. But I know, for a lot of you, skincare just sounds like another chore. But I want to make it fun. And that's where Serve Labs comes in. Go to servelabs.co, servelabs.co, or follow us at Serve Labs on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and discover how easy and fun it is to treat your skin right with Serve Labs. Okay, next I want to talk about, this is barely a thing, but I have my Patreon up now, and if you don't really want to pay money over there to subscribe, just go to the Patreon link. I've got it. I'll link it again in the description of this podcast, but it's also on my Instagram profile as well. It's just Linktree, just Joey T. The Patreon has been fun to do because I'm really getting into the groove of doing the daily vlogs where I'm doing something just regular everyday thing, and I would just vlog myself doing it. So last night I ordered pho, and oh my God, this was bad pho. It was not worth The total cost was $29, but I had $20 of credit on a credit card. So it came out to a net of about $9 or $10. But it was not worth, it was barely worth, I'm not even sure it's worth the $10. The broth was like a little too salty. The basil leaves, there were not enough of them, and they were like turning brown. They were like decaying, and they did not give me a lime. Yeah, so it didn't taste that good, and yeah, it was not. I would never pay $30. Oh my god! If I didn't have the $20 credit, I'd be like way more rad. But anyways, as I was like unpacking it and like preparing it, I thought, oh, this is a vloggable moment, so I just broke out the camera and vlogged it. So by the time you listen to this podcast, it's already been posted to the Patreon. I'm getting into a groove of just like semi-daily vlogging. I'm not actually vlogging every day, but just vlogging, little moments in my life, which I used to do all the time. And I'm kind of getting back into it. Yeah, so it's actually been really fun doing the Patreon. It doesn't really feel like that much work. The uncut episodes have been kind of fun to do, which is the podcast episode that's just for Patreon subscribers. I bring that up because whenever someone comments on something, when a subscriber comments on something in the Patreon, I get a little notification on the Patreon app on my phone. And then I did just one of these random vlogs. I did one with David. It was the first random vlog to be posted on the Patreon. This was like a few weeks ago. And someone commented, absolutely no offense to you, Joey, but tuning in just to see David is worth the price of the Patreon. Winky face. I'm not offended because David's kind of hot shit, but he doesn't. I think he kind of sort of knows it, but he doesn't want to like believe it himself. He's camera shy. He's not the kind of person that's going to go do social media or put himself on camera or anything like that. He does have an Instagram. All he really does on Instagram is just repost stories of memes he finds funny. And a lot of them are like the very horrible, well, semi-horrible type of humor. For example, he said he follows this Instagram account that's just like kids getting injured and hurt, but like in hilarious ways. That's the kind of comedy that he's into. I'm a little bit into that as well, but like it's not a popular thing to be into. But he's like a little bit more into like that type of humor. His Instagram account is just him posting memes as stories. He very rarely takes like selfies. He doesn't really do social media. He doesn't create content on social media. He doesn't do a lot of posts. He is on social media a lot, but like he's just consuming it like most people. Yeah, he doesn't do, he's never going to do, I've had people ask me, like me, they'd be like, oh, hey, does David do OnlyFans? I've had people message me to try to sleep with David. So it does not surprise me at all that this person messaged me like being so, that he's so hyped up to see David in one of the vlogs on Patreon, because I've been his friend for quite a while. We go to a lot of the same parties and meet a lot of the same people. I have people come up to me, go through me to get to David. I'm thinking like, if you want to have sex with David, go ask him yourself. Like someone recently, like a few months ago, someone who's like a mutual friend of me and David said something to me to like, basically, I'm not going to bring up what he said, but basically he was trying to get through me to have sex with David. It's like, go ask him yourself. If you want to sleep with him, go ask him. Don't ask me. It makes no sense. But we're besties. Yeah, and it's not surprising that this person would like David so much. Even though by the time you listen to this, I have been back from the cruise. As I'm recording this, I haven't even packed yet. I've got so much work to do before I pack, and I leave in like a few days to go to Miami. But I'm so happy to be going on a cruise to get some R&R. But next week's episode, I will basically be doing a debrief because I'll be back from the cruise and also from Vancouver to visit mom for her birthday. I posted on my Instagram a little snippet of me on my phone call with mom. Go check out the Instagram, but like the full phone conversation is actually up on my Patreon. So I'm gonna vlog. I should have some vlog content from Vancouver, definitely as well. But yeah, next week when I come back, I will let you guys know some of the adventures/misadventures from my time on the Atlantis Thanksgiving cruise and also from Vancouver. I'm just worried that, check the weather forecast for Vancouver. The nighttime lows is below freezing. So I'm just afraid of, it doesn't usually snow in Vancouver. Even if it gets like cold, you might get black ice, which is very dangerous. But usually by the time it hits the pavement, it turns into slush. It's not quite cold enough for the snow to really stick to the ground. Even though you might see that it's snowing, usually the snow doesn't accumulate. But weather ever is getting more and more crazy. I will be there for a few days. And what I do is I rent a car from the airport and then I will drive to, I mean, mom's place isn't super far from the airport, but it's like I need a car to like get myself places, but also like I take mom to like go shopping, get groceries, like we'll go to like lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever together. So like that's why I get the car. To save money, some car rental companies, when you book a car with them online and it asks you what type of car you want, a sedan, a compact, or SUV or whatever, some car rental companies have like a quote unquote special or mystery car. Basically, you will just get whatever they want to give you. I've done that twice with Avis in Vancouver. The first time, I think I got a Jeep Wrangler, which is I kind of like driving the Jeep Wrangler. I've driven them quite a few times from car rental companies. And I kind of like driving those. I think the last time it was some sort of like little SUV. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't like a tiny, crappy little hatchback or whatever. So, and I usually do that to save money. The last couple of times I've done it, I just did it to save money, but it's usually the cheapest option. This time was also like the cheapest option by like $20. So I was like, okay, I can take a gamble on $20. So I'm curious to see what I'm gonna get this time. It seems like a little bit risky though when the weather is like a little bit. And what if they gave me like, what's a car that's not really suitable for winter weather? I mean, they wouldn't give me. They don't have sports cars at car rental places. Oh, what if they don't? What if it does have heated seats? Oh, damn, I should have thought about that. I love heated seats because I'm cold all the time. Heated seats are the best. So, maybe I should change it. Yeah, I always drive mom around, and mom wants like some Nintendo thing on her Nintendo Switch or whatever. She just got an iPad. This is all in my phone conversation that I had with her. She wants like some Super Mario game installed on her Switch, but no one up there, the rest of the family doesn't know how to do it. All tech stuff basically falls to me. And she just got an iPad without asking me. I'm offended. I'm hurt. But I'm sure she's going to have questions about the iPad because she only got the iPad to play games. Because my sister told her, oh, you're always squinting at your iPhone. But somehow she plays games on the iPhone now. And then my sister's like, oh, you're always squinting at that thing. You should get an iPad to play your games on. So now she has like this 10-inch iPad to play games on. And I also got to bug her to be like, are you playing video games or are you going to go exercise? Because the doctor has said that she needs to go exercise. But she's pre-diabetic. There you go. All right. Come back next week. You guys know that this podcast, I just talk about whatever, right? Literally, I just talk about whatever. If you guys do want to suggest topics, though, I'm more than happy to talk about topics and answer questions. I love to answer questions. Maybe next time we should do. So actually, next time I'll do like adventures and misadventures from the cruise and also from Vancouver on next week's podcast. But maybe it would be fun to do like a Q&A. So if you guys want to submit some questions that you would like me to answer, don't ask me like super, keep it like, I don't know. Someone asked me to do a hookup story for the uncut version, the Patreon extra bonus version. And I'm happy to do that. But, we can have a mix of like some of those, raunchier, more personal questions versus stuff that's like a little bit more PG-13. I don't want 20 people to ask me like, what's like a really maybe not like the most PC thing to ask. Which OnlyFans creator was like your most and least favorite? Because that's awkward to ask. I've actually had people ask me that, and I have a canned response to like talk around it. Because I've done all these collabs, and sometimes fans will ask, "Oh, who was your favorite collab?" But it's like I don't want to pick a favorite. Because it's like when you say one person you were was the favorite, that's like, what about everyone else? Were they not good? I've had a couple of people ask like, "Oh, who was like the worst collab?" And it's like I would not answer that. It's like you being asked in front of the world who's the person at work that you hate the most, but it's like broadcasted out to the internet, or it's like at a company meeting, it's asked you like, who do you have a vendetta against at work? Who is your least favorite person to work with in the finance department or whatever? That's just horrible. All right. Until next time, make sure you subscribe. And again, comment down below. In the YouTube, that's probably the best place to do it. Do the YouTube comments on any questions you would like me to answer. Maybe I can collect some for a Q&A or just any topics you want me to talk about in the future. But until next time, bye, y'all.